I'm live. We are alive. Some of us. Some of us. Now, there's a misunderstanding as well as a misconception about what is taking place in my timeline and behind the scenes. Some of you need to understand that I intuit energy from the past, present, currently, and in the future. And for some, we're talking about decades in the future. When that last reading that I published, which came out in the membership 6 or 7 months ago, when I did that reading, I was in my ascension home. These other individuals were also in their ascension home. However, these were the readers that would go to the closet, and when they went into the closet, whomever was in the bathroom was picking up everything that they were saying. Now, why this is important is these are the ones that are acting as if they are guides. Now, because they are discombobulated, which is coming out, more information about why they are discombobulated and who they're going for is coming out in my next more reading, which will be on tier 3. It's already uploaded, but it's not coming out until I say it's coming out. Now, the reason why it's important is y'all are running around talking about y'all guides. Some of you do have guides, right? But it's a nudge that you get. It's not from no type of Fallon, which you call a fallen angel, or any archangel. What these are deities. Now, the reason why they're doing it is coming out in my tier 3 reading. When I advise certain individuals not to use pendulums, they felt as if it was because when they would use them on me, that it was making me ill. I posted for months, stop using the pendulum, stop using the pendulum, stop using the pendulums. Before I said no one is going to get any accurate readings from any pendulum that watched me and decided that they were going to use my technique. Before I said that, I said, I'm going to deactivate everyone's pendulum. Because I said the person that you are supposed to ask is Archangel Astias, not Estabas. You all are mistaken. When you start calling on these energies that you think are associated with me, that are helping me, I'm here to tell you, I wasn't getting any type of archangel being, deity assistance at no point. When someone says they have a guide, from my understanding, the ones that are truthful, it's their intuition. It's a nudge. And you learn to trust it because when you get that feeling that you should say something as a professional tarot reader or a tarot reader, psychologist, psychic, medium, anything that you consider spiritual, if you do not say it, that means someone is missing out on a message. Those that truly care are going to say it, even if it's as simple as they're eating popcorn right now. And I mean, really, right now, they're eating popcorn. You know what I'm talking about? So the point is, some of you that are readers that are in this chat right now, and those that will see it in the future, because some of you are going to share it. Some of you are going to get the nudge to share it, but you're not going to do it. That's okay. The reason why they don't do it is because they feel like they're going to benefit from me later on. And when you do that, you disconnect. You cut off all of your dharma. It's not supposed to be like that. Everything shouldn't be competition. When you are in a spiritual base occupation, career, or whatever, you're not supposed to think like that. If you think like that, that means something else is guiding you. Now, if you have to go to the restroom to get guidance, that is a clear sign right there. All of that came out in Tier 3 reading. Those of you that want to know who are Tier 3 members, y'all are the problem. When I say my guides, my ancestors, I'm talking about a nudge that I get, my intuition. Back then, wasn't nothing speaking to me or speaking through me. Y'all need to understand that. This is, I know it to be true. When I would shuffle the cards in front of y'all, I would say what's going to happen first, and then it would come out. That's a sign right there. So I feel like I built up enough rapport with my audience for them to be able to trust that when you see those cards placed on that table, that I shuffled them and I didn't pick them. Because somebody's going to say that she got on someone's, and y'all know who it is because she goes around copying everybody readings. I did, because she would pick the cards that she seen on my table and place them on hers. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not picking cards and putting them on the table. I'm shuffling first. That's the difference. Now, the reading that y'all are so interested in, the industry reading, is several industries tied into that one reading, which is going to come out because it's supposed to. Part 2 of that is a more reading. So that is what's coming out on Tier 3 soon. So those of you that are more members or higher, y'all will be the first to see it. They are paying to be the first to see things that others don't see. So they the sharpest knives in the drawer. You know what I'm talking about? Because they getting the best part of me. I'm telling you that right now. That's not to say that my other members don't, but I'm saying Tier 3, they get their own reading. That means even if they're not in it, they're associated with it some kind of way. When you go to 4, 5, or 6, those are personal readings. That means your name is on those readings. They're not for no one else, although they're going to register with other people, especially those of you that know someone did a destiny swap on you, that know someone is practicing on you. When you go to 4, 5, or 6, whatever they done did is cleared. Because that's what you're paying for. Some of you, y'all need 6 months of instruction. That means every time I read for you, I got to do a clearing. That's what you're paying for. It's some people that then watched and booked with me that needed both. They needed the membership and private readings. Y'all astronomical and y'all multi-dimensional and y'all reincarnates and incarnates, and y'all running around here talking about you ain't got no karma. Then why you reincarnated then? I'm going to tell you right now, if you reincarnated, that means you have a purpose. Now, whatever that purpose is, you'll find out. Either you're going to guess or you're going to pay someone that know what they're doing. When you go see a doctor, you're paying for them to know what they're doing. Some of y'all. Because you're going to get a practicing physician. When you start talking about an expert, then that's different. A specialist, then that's different. You know what I'm talking about? There's a difference when you go into a facility and you get somebody that is practicing. And then they say, well, we're going to refer you to a specialist. A specialist means they get paid to know what they're doing. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all can appreciate that because you spent a lot of time, money, energy, and tears and hemoglobin on your craft, career, and occupation. So if somebody's a new Udi coming in saying, I'm better than them, they ain't been through nothing, they ain't experienced nothing, they don't know A, B equals D, E, F, G, and sometimes Z, because they don't know. You sitting up there, you're swinging the pendulum, swinging the pendulum. Oh, I got something. I got something. Ether done showed me something that she either showed me how to. She should have never did that. That's what they always say. She should have never showed me because I don't need her now. But you don't know the ramifications of what you're doing, and it's clear because it comes out on my table. Don't say I taught you anything because I told you first. Do not attempt to intuit anyone else's life. That is for your personal business. And now y'all got y'all aunties in a wad because everything you ask is wrong. I did that. Because I got tired of saying, do not intuit, do not do swings on people without their permission. If you watch me, and you decided that you was going to do it anyway because you thought it was going to make somebody feel ill, that's what you get. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you get. You do not run off on a plug twice. That's what I'm talking about. Let me tell you, some of the people that are younger than these oopie fools know that you don't do certain things to certain people. If the popo right in front of you, is you going to cut them off? No, because you're not open. Is you going to do something that's detrimental to your well-being on purpose, knowing the ramifications of it? No. You only do things that are detrimental to your being and to your livelihood when you don't know the consequences or you don't care about them. So which one is it? It's going to be a whole bunch. You know why? Because at the beginning, I told y'all what did I say? 70-30, 60-40 or something like that was other content creators. And then the majority was other content creators. That's just a jambalaya of all different types of content. When I said, these are the individuals that are watching your content, the majority are other content creators, whether or not if it's on this platform or somewhere else. The minority is the ones that come for entertainment. And because it's spiritual, the man upstairs puts something that they need to see right before them. That means you could be on here looking for a makeup tutorial, a haul, and then all of a sudden you see me, for instance. That means you were supposed to. You were supposed to see me. Y'all got to understand that when you say that you are an ascended being, that means there's consequences. That means it's time for you to do your big one, like y'all say. You got to move different. You ain't got no choice. Because when the big G start talking to you, and I do mean talking to you, that means something. Some of y'all running around here and y'all feel like if you say that you are my family member, my children, that you'll somehow get close to me spiritually. They don't do that. So when you say, for instance, I'm Ether's sister, I'll be like, look at this, listen to this. You go into the bathroom calling on someone else's elder. It's one of these, they so disrespectful. Let me tell you something. If I was y'all, okay, I would not share via social media any passing. I wouldn't, because it's a group that is so disrespectful. They'll put in their readings details that someone else shared to see who all went through it. I'm telling you, someone was sitting there. Now, this is somebody's neighbor or something like that. Somebody was sitting there, and when they seen something happen, or when someone told them about what happened to them, they went into the bathroom and started telling a reader what happened. And she put it in her reading. Y'all listen. Y'all be sitting there crushed, okay? Going through everything you going through. And then you happen to see someone that you feel you could trust, right? And they got little details. Synchronicities happening simultaneously is right. They got little details, and you say there's no way this person got to be connected and da-da-da-da-da. And they is, but not to what you think. And it matters. It came out on tier 3. Now, for those of you that want to know part 2, not of this published that I just put out, that's a members reading from 6-7 months ago. The one before that. If y'all want to know part 2, you got to go to tier 3. You saying what's the benefit? You get your own energy. You saying, but you already did the pull. I know. I'm going to explain to you how it resonates to you. You understand what I'm saying? I could take any picture of a past reading and explain to you how it resonates to you. Now she could use that. Because some of y'all only come in here to see what is new and innovative so y'all can pitch it to somebody. Y'all are the problems. If you feel like you can go into the bathroom and talk to a deity, who else do you think is listening? That means you're an open channel. You can say silence, no one hears me, but blah, blah, blah. You calling on something and don't even know. You calling it one thing and it's something else. And it responds every time because that thing wants you. And not in a good way. Some of y'all sit there and say, abomination, you shouldn't do readings. And then a year later, all of a sudden, you're a guru and you're channeling the unalive and this and that and people who's passed over relatives. When I first got that energy, I said, I don't even want to put this out. Because I know how I would feel if someone was telling me things about one of my ancestors. One of my loved ones, I wouldn't know how to respond to that. But if I didn't do it, somebody else was going to do it and put salt on it. Now, I done already said that there's a plethora of experienced readers, but not everyone. And they do it because they feel like it's a quick come up. I'm doing it because I'm supposed to. This is my calling. I studied. I already knew the background of a lot of different stuff before I decided to put a deck in my hand. If you don't know what a resume is, you shouldn't have a tarot deck in your hand. Tarot deck or oracle deck. Because you just don't know enough about life. They don't like that. I'm going to tell you, because every time I'm on, you go silent. You are one of the ones that are being monitored by archangels, which you refer to as elders. And when they're dealing with you, they are called the watchers. They're not your elders. They're not your ancestors. I know why they're watching you, but you have to book with me. Because you're not going to get no juicy tidbits from me. You already got enough. I know that at least 6 of my members that ran across your content. 6 of them. And when they ran across your content, I had to do multiple clearings. You'll say, well, that's good for them, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it is good for them. But they don't watch you no more. When my content started coming up after yours, that should have been a sign. Because I told you, everyone that used anything that came from my readings would come up after me. they would come up on my recommended because you were saying key points, things that you never said before, and the algorithm picked it up. Now that's science. This is why that other one that you watch changes the words after she watches me. She says stuff like, I'm not going to say intuiting, I'm going to say instructing. And intuiting and instructing is two totally different, it's two totally different words, and it has two totally different meanings. This is what I'm saying. At least, like, if you going try to have the gift of gab, at least know what you're talking about. If y'all don't know the difference between chakras and alignment, then you shouldn't put it in your reading. The chakras cannot be in alignment. Then that means you'd be off center. Your equilibrium would be off. Chakra alignment, that don't even sound right. Your chakras vibrate. How can you align a chakra? Y'all say things because you think it sound cool. This one, there's one that feels like I keep my hair covered because I'm an open channel. She just got this from me. I keep my hair covered because I have locks. Now go ask Asikinio Arasta why he covers his hair. It's one that lives right around the corner from you. You're not Rasta, I know. Let me tell you, there's multiple reasons why I keep my hair covered, even when I'm not reading. One being is we are in an environment. I do not put no oil, grease, or none of that stuff in my hair. When I go outside, I don't want a whole bunch of bugs in my hair. You know what I'm talking about? Now, it's a few of y'all that went outside and you say you washed your wig. And let me tell you, because it's a synthetic yaki blend, which is horsehair, you're confusing the bugs. They think it's a nest. So anytime you go back inside, hotel or anything else, something flies out and you pull your wig off and start fanning it. That's why. Are you saying it's a synthetic? What I'm saying is my hair don't have no grease. It has sebum in there. At the scalp. I don't want no bee, no fly, no mosquito, or whatever else is floating around deciding that they're gonna make a home in my hair. When I take my hair down, it's because it's a sunny day and there's no signs of insects around. So y'all figure it out. If I had a Jerry curl or something, I would not, a texturizer, it wouldn't be a thing because stuff like that, they fly away. This one sitting here, I don't have no wig control, none of that. I know about wig control. I used to sell it. I used to work at a beauty supply. When you have stuff like that in your hair piece, don't no insect want no parts of that. She's sitting up there trying to figure out if she done got a bug in her hair. I'm telling you, you got like 3 or 4 in there last week, 3 months ago, because I seen a vision of you taking you because you're being monitored. First of all, y'all the ones that's running around, and every time you feel like you need something silent, you say ether. You're calling me spiritually. I mean, what part? What part? They say ether, womp 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 womp, because they feel like if they say ether, everything is going to be silent. Because these is ones that try to intuit my energy and they don't get nothing. But when they do it to others that are open channels, they get something. This is why my membership is valuable. You may not think so, but they do. Because of all the spiritual stuff that they attempted to do on me, they can't. Now, I'm not saying that other readers can't do something similar. What I'm saying is they don't know how to. Because these are ascended beings. Lighting some sage is not going to work for them. What they did was to be able to do this stuff, they did during a group paradigm shift ascension. I keep telling y'all that. That is important. Stuff has been done spiritually since the opening of Lionsgate. That is not 1 year, 2 year. It's like 3 or 4 years. We're talking about, and then if there's a paradigm shift associated with something like Lionsgate opening, that means it's extended. Then you got supreme beings, ETs, aliens, all these different animals. And y'all know, I talked about it. I said 2020, y'all know, when the panoramic happened, I spoke about it. I said the insects is huge. It's like they just came out of nowhere. I started seeing all different type of species and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But not just that. Throughout all of these years, right? Y'all know, I mean, it was a real popular topic in the conscious community when they say the dome went down, okay? Some of y'all know about it because y'all ran across it. That meant everything was wide open. Then we start seeing everything zigzagging in the sky and all of that. It'd be Tuesday twice. You know what I'm saying? And you like, wait a minute. I know I'm not tripping. If you own one, you go think you tripping. That means at some point throughout the day, you looked at something and something said it was Tuesday. And then the next day, you look at something and it's Tuesday. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people don't pay attention. When that first happened to me, I didn't think about it because I said, well, maybe I'm seeing things or something. The second time I said, I'm gonna get a calendar and start marking off the days. When I got that calendar, I didn't even use it because at that point I had ascended because I noticed it. At that point, it didn't even matter if it was Tuesday twice, Wednesday twice, because it happened several times. You could say it's a computer malfunction, but which one? Is it a tower malfunction, which we done had a few? And if towers and computers are malfunctioning, what is that doing for business? Some of you're not paying attention. And you too way up there to not be paying attention to the simple things. You're leaving it to a system to do. And when the system starts malfunctioning, you don't know where things is going. You just assume it or whatever. This is why when they introduced the checking system to us, and they said you got to balance your checkbook, right? I learned this the hard way. You got to balance your checkbook. That means whatever you're taking out of your account, out of your checking account, right? You have to document it in that little notepad that they give you. It needs to be documented because you're going to forget, right? That money not there. And then you're going to get an overdraft. The reason why it's important is The system back then was slow. And this is the reason why you needed to balance your checkbook. If you didn't know what was in your account and you writing checks, then you're going to get overdraft. But not just that. If you look at the fine print for some of these institutions, they can hold a check for 2 weeks after you write it. The average person, when they write a check, you know what I'm saying, you thinking it's gonna be in, they're gonna take it out 2 or 3 days, a week best. But the contracts say they can hold it for 2 weeks. Now most institutions didn't, but they can. They can. The reason why I found out the hard way, y'all, is because I was at work one day and somebody called me and said, "You owe us." I wrote a check for $20-something, and I did talk about this in the podcast years ago. I wrote a check for $20-something. I think it was $20-something. By the time they contacted me, it was $129-something. And I said, "Well, I'm at work. I can't do it right now." And he said, "Well, if you can't do it right now, then we're going to come to your job and get you." I said, "Okay, I'll be there tomorrow." Because it's in the contract. They know that you can't play with them like that, but you don't know it. Write a check that you can't cash and see what happens. They're going to come and get it. You know what I'm talking about? They do not play with that. They don't care if it was a mistake or not, because your contract says you are supposed to balance, jot things down. You know what I'm saying? We leaving it up to a system. Some of us ain't got no choice but to leave it to a system. Y'all know what I'm talking about? We ain't got no choice but to trust what the system is telling us. I came on because I wanted to address the ins and outs of what took place in that reading that I published for my members. Now that y'all are aware that nobody is confusing me to get me to release these readings, because some of y'all convinced yourself that that's happening. Others of y'all felt like the system malfunctioned and you somehow miraculously got entrance into my membership. Come on now. I released the video for y'all to see. I done talked about this. It's important because if I don't talk about it, then it's not clear. That means somebody else gonna hear something spiritually and decide that is the route that they're going to take. It's devious. I said it's for some of y'all, it's y'all neighbor, because it is. Some of y'all got neighbors that listen at the wall. Y'all know it. And they got connectivity just like you. You over there talking about Papa Legba, Papa Gudagoo, Papa Gun, and all of this stuff. And it's your neighbor. I kid y'all not. Because fat meat is greasy. You playing around with people spiritually, somebody gonna play around with you. That's just how it is. I'm not going to, I know where all of them are. They don't. They're not nowhere near none of my members. But for some of y'all, they close because you talk to them in your mind. Because you straddle the fence. The group that where they started talking about, I'm your sister, I'm your mother, that happened almost 3 years ago. Where the people that were ascending, people started saying, I'm your auntie, I'm this, I'm that. And that is because those were already ascended beings that had connectivity. And because of the fraction, the breed, and the kind that was ascending was also involved in that group paradigm shift, people that have psychic gifts heard it. These were the ones that said, I want this to last forever. I don't never want to stop hearing my friends talk to me in my mind. My friends. These are the ones that have that standpoint. They don't realize that these are past life enemies and that they know who they are. Could you imagine? This is where we're talking about reincarnation and incarnation. Could you imagine you coming into a system, right? And everybody knows about the system except you. And so somebody decide that the way we're going to fool this person this time is to act like we're their friend, not the family members. That's something else. This group here decided that they were going to fool these beings that ascended before someone else. And for some of y'all, they destiny swap with you, even if you don't know them. And this is why they're so well known amongst the archangels and supreme beings, ETs and aliens and all of that stuff, because they do it during a paradigm shift, specifically a group one. So people don't know that it's them. I can tell you each and every last one of their destinies. If and when I get off this live, they're going to do it again. They're going to say, that's not for me. She wasn't talking about me. And they're going to start saying, friend. Don't know who friend is, because everything that they're talking to in that region uses a standard voice, including the ETs. Y'all think I'm capping, and I'm telling you the truth. They don't know what they're talking to. When I say a psychomps, I mean that. Y'all like for real, like like in the yes, those are beings. They don't just come up with these concepts because they're just astronomical and they just present you time warp, and they're presenting you something new because you like those are not thrillers. That's sci-fi fantasy that they present that in, but it's really real beings. The one that had the one eyeball, that. Talking about friend. If they were to encounter a psychomps, they wouldn't think that was friendly. Some people really do channel, and some people really do communicate with deities because it is in their heritage to do so. That's why you got psychics. That's why you got mediums. You got mediumship. You got all type of clairs, all type of abilities. And those of you that are interested in anything pertaining to NSVJ, empath, Onyxia, and others that you don't know about, that information is being put out on tier 3. It's in that more reading that I just put up. It's not out yet. Some of it. This is something that takes a while because I got multiple projects that I'm working on while still trying to maintain. When I was in my home, I could do readings all day long. But I'm not in my home anymore. So that means because I'm not supposed to be. Some of y'all don't get it. For me, living beyond my means I don't live there. It ain't no either finna just sit in a 5-bedroom house and she can't afford it. No, either get put out. That's how it is with elect ones. We don't get a free ride. All elect ones is like that. We have to work 3 times as hard as the average person that may get a break because of what was done to our universe parents. I done spoke about that. If you are a reincarnate are incarnate, you come from somewhere. It don't make sense unless you originally came from somebody. One of the originals. Recessive is in that last one. Not the one that I just published from the members. It's in the one that I last uploaded. I didn't even touch that because that's associated with the reader. She feels like she's doing better than me, so she'll figure it out. I'm not running around here trying to save everybody because I realize everybody can't be saved, and no one on any of these platforms was trying to save me, help me, but my members. That means something to me. I'm somebody that's loyal, not to a fault, because I know when to back up. So if you want to book with me, email me at oracleoftheether@gmail.com. That is